Got the camera all jacked up.
Hi, peoples.
It's not so
It's
enthused.
us. It's us again.
Why are you sitting like that? Get up. You're
Oh,
horrible.
oh. Gotta act like I like her.
That's because you do.
Nope, I love you.
All right, so
What the hell?
I had to.
Oh, hey,
I was
hey.
trying to share this, um, because I think that's the only way you can do it. I see other people on here doing that like that too, though, like sharing, like we share. So apparently, that's the only way to do it. Um,
I don't share.
no, I'm talking about the sharing, like we can go live.
No, I don't share. I don't like sharing. I'm stingy.
Whatever. Okay. Anyway,
I'm sleepy. Actually, I'm not sleepy. My eyes are just burning.
whatever. Okay, but this was you something you brought up, so we should talk. You want to talk about that first, or go
I
to
don't
the
care what you want to talk
what do
about.
you call them, the extra topics, and then talk about the main topic?
I don't care what you want to talk about. Like, whatever.
That's what I'm asking you. You
You
want to talk about the extra? I can't stand you right now.
you wear the pants in the relationship. Well, actually, I wear the pants. You wear the dress with no underwear.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Well, what do you want to talk about first?
I don't care, baby.
Okay. So anyway, we'll talk about the extra topics first, and we'll go into the main topic.
All right, that's fine. This looks so extra. I got my hand all around you. We're gonna be like Derek Jackson now.
That ain't funny.
Oh shit! What happened?
You hit touch my screen, and you know my thing is live.
Ooh!
I mean, it's a touch screen.
I touch your screen. You touch mine.
He doing the most.
All right, let's go. So, which one are we going with?
That's why I asked you. Do you want to talk about the main topic
Whatever
first?
you want to do.
Okay. Well, whatever. So we'll do. Like I said, we'll do the extra ones first. So look, this is what's been coming up. I've been seeing this a lot lately, and this is actually an ideal to talk about this. Ideal time to talk about it because tomorrow is Thursday, and the kid's dad is coming to pick them up.
I can't stand that dude. I'm just playing.
So let's talk about blended families because there's a lot that goes on in blended families. And I'm in this group, this blended family group, and there's some good topics that come up.
Well, let's go.
All right, so there's a couple of them I want to talk about. And one is so I guess everybody should know what a blended family is, right? So like it's when people get married and they already have a family from a previous relationship or a previous marriage, and then you got to blend the families together. So you got to blend. Everyone has a blend. Everyone is coming in with kids and such, and so it's getting everyone to kind of cohesively blend together. Maybe blended is the wrong word though, because I don't know if you want everybody to blend or just be like in sync. Because like blending kind of makes it seem like blending, right? But anyway, so one of the questions that a lot of the questions that people have, there's a lot of issues with blended families, not even that don't even pertain to the kids so much, but it pertains to the people that it pertains to the bio kids' parents. I put it like that. So like a lot of the issues don't come from within the household, but come from outside the household. And so this one particular issue, one of the women in there had stated that she doesn't like when her husband goes over to his child's mother house, but she doesn't want to go with him. And so she was saying like, she don't even want to feel that way. And so then someone asked her like, well, why is he going over to her house? And so she said like, he usually goes over there like to do something for the step kid, like fix an electronic
Oh, do
device,
it now.
fix something for his kid, like for
Okay,
his
okay.
kid, like
Yeah.
uh, electronic device, or he drops he'll drop something off for the kid over there because the kid left it at their house. But like it always ends up with him and the child's mother and having these real long personal conversations, and he indulges her because he's trying to keep the peace, and she went on about how he obliges her because he doesn't want to like get dragged into the court for child support and everything like that. So What do you do in situations like that?
Is this a real topic or is some crap you made up
No,
because of
I'm serious. Look at exactly a real topic.
okay. Well,
I screenshot it.
I get I can speak exclusively on this
He
particular.
thought somebody else.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
no, that wouldn't be going on though. You wouldn't be going over there like that. I don't know what the hell you
Yeah.
thinking.
All right. Well, you go first. I went first last night.
No, you go
No,
ahead.
I went first last night. Yeah, I got to take my shirt off.
Okay, so then my thing to her was like, there just has to be some type of boundary set. Um, I think it's important, in especially when you remarry, to set those boundaries with your kids' parents, with your kids' bio parent, whatever. So it may have been that before you were in a relationship or before you got married, there were some extra things that you did. Um, but I think it has to be recognized that once you become involved with someone, that even though you may have been kind of loose on boundaries and obliging when you just felt like you could to keep down the drama, that some of that has to go away, because then it can start having an impact on your current relationship. So, and then you never know what the other parents' motive really is. Like, why do they feel like every time they like you have to serve as their personal counselor? Why are they calling you and needing to talk to you all the time? Like, to eliminate all of that confusion, um, there has to be boundaries, clear cut boundaries set, and I think that should be done at the beginning of a relationship, when there's a potential that you may be blending families. I mean, that has to be a given. And then the other thing is that I know that people want to be involved in their kids' lives, and I get that. But this is a consequence of not being with a child's parent, is that you're not going to be able to be there like you would have if you were still in that household. So if you were in the household with the child and the mother, and you two were a unit, there's some things that you'd always be there most of the time for your child. And there's some things that you'd be able to do that you're just not going to be able to do if you're not in that household. So to think that you would still be able to do those things is just silly, actually. And you have to get to the point where you recognize, like, hey, this is just a consequence of this. It's not doesn't mean that all hope is gone, or that I'm gonna have a horrible relationship with my child just because I'm not there when they look at the Easter basket. It doesn't mean that, but it's just mean that you have to do things differently because it's not functioning in that way anymore. And so I think that's what's important, and that's how you establish those boundaries, by having that in your mind and recognizing that from the beginning.
Well, um, I'll say this because we actually started off like that, and that's why I thought this topic was thought it was prearranged in her mind and she was making up something.
And it
Uh,
wasn't. But see, everybody goes through that. Then apparently, a lot of people do.
yeah, well, men. It's from a man
Yep.
aspect. This is where you and I've had this conversation, and kind of, I don't know if you agree or not or understand or whatever, but with me, what I was doing when we first met, yes, consequences of not being with the child's mother or whatever. Uh, I actually wanted my daughter to wake up and see her mother and father together, to open Christmas presents and stuff like that. Although we weren't together, so I would do things like spend the night over there for Christmas. And as you know, we became up here for Christmas and flew down there for Christmas. The first year that we were together. Um, what I also learned is that wasn't my first time doing that neither. That was like a second time that I did that with one of my other kids, and it ended up kind of backfiring because it gives the child false hope, or may they may look at it in a totally different way, and then when they see you with someone else, they don't know how to take it or whatever, and it could ruin a relationship or cause extra confusion. But back on the subject, I was doing it because we were very fresh in our relationship. I didn't know where we were going and how long we were going to be together. So at that point, that was the most important thing to me at that time. As time went on, I realized that, hey, yeah, you're going to be my wife. So I knew I had to do other things. Um, Now I wouldn't think that it's I wouldn't advise anybody if especially in a relationship if you're with someone to go spend the night over or stay at the kid's house early in the morning or whatever it is. I wouldn't suggest that if especially if it's going to cause problems because even the kid's mother, she may get the wrong ideal as well, uh, depending on her mindset. So yeah, we went through that. I don't think that's a good thing to do. To be honest with you, you can pick your kid up later on in the day, uh, and get a kid the presents that way, or you can FaceTime or certain things like that. So yeah, you can do things a little bit different when it comes to that. I don't. Yeah, that's
And then what about the parents using the other parent as a personal, like she said, a personal counselor, like calling them just to talk about their problems and
yeah
their issues.
that that's kind of a. It depends on the relationship. Like if there's no drama, if they had a, because it's like how, well, not really necessarily, but that's how you and what's the face kind of are. Y'all can have free conversations and there's no extra in it, and I don't worry about it. But if it's like somebody has ulterior motives and has shown signs of doing things that's not beneficial to your current relationship, then hmm, then no. I mean, every day, heck no, hell no. Every day, uh, 3 4 times a week, no. Occasionally, So I would, depending on the relationship or how y'all broke up and how the person is, you, you the conversation should start off and should be about the children in the beginning. But if it veer off for a second, hey, how's your day? Hope this is going well. Da da da. Yeah, fine. I personally, I'm okay with that. But when it comes to just having conversations about how their life going every day, all day, and they calling you every time they get a problem, nah, that don't flow. That don't work.
Right.
That don't work.
And then the key thing I think with that particular scenario, she said that he felt like he wanted to oblige her to keep down drama, and I'm thinking like, okay, well, if he has to oblige her to keep down drama, or so that she don't put him on child support, then that to me indicates there's something extra going on with
Yep.
her. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? Because
Yep.
she should be the same regardless of whether or not he's obliging her. Like she should be able to understand, like, okay, he's married now, he can't operate in this capacity, and if she can't understand that, then that makes me think that she's looking for something else.
Well, I'll say this too because I had that same mindset as well, trying to oblige my children mother not to be put on child support. Uh, uh, I wasn't the one to take it to the sex level, like, oh, I gotta have sex with her, or sleep with her, so this, that, and the third. But for whatever reason, us men, we don't. It seems like only the good men or the men that want to take care of their kids have a problem with child support. Dudes that really don't care, they they don't really do that. So they just not going to be around anyway, regardless. But the obliging her, I can honestly say I had that mindset as well, and this is yet to work out for me. Because at the end of the day, it may work for a year or 2 or 3 years or whatever it is, and then next thing you know, it's going downhill. So yeah, that's you definitely she shouldn't be doing that. And if your wife don't feel comfortable uh going over there, then that's already that that's a that's something that you should have to take into consideration as well. I get it, it's your child, whatever the case. Uh, she should feel comfortable going over there. If the mother don't want her there, then it's some extra stuff. We have to get out of that mindset in general as black people
Mm-hmm.
and black families because we already is already bad because it's a broken household, but you destroy the kids more by disliking each other and doing all of this extra crap that go on. So yeah.
Okay, so then that was one part, and actually, to go to the second part of that blending family thing, and then we'll get to marriage goals. But the other part of that was there was another lady who posted and said that she was having issues with her stepdaughter who was now 17, but she's having issues because the bio mom, had told the stepdaughter to basically um, be a hellraiser at their house or whatever, to tear the house apart. And she had told that girl that 5 years previous, so she had to be 12, and the girl was still acting like that. So then when she comes to the house, she doesn't speak to her. The girl doesn't speak to her. She acts like she doesn't exist. And she said that she's exhausted, and like at this point, she's exhausted. Her if she tells her husband like, "I don't want her coming over to the house," or he takes it as her just complaining about his kids coming to the house. But a lot of the advice people gave her was that your husband is supposed to be protecting you. And my thing was like, your husband's supposed to be insulating you from that type of BS that's going on. So not saying that he should tell Zara you can't come over, but he needs to be nipping that in the bud.
Yeah, I agree to that. You have to. It's a lot of people, and I'm like this to an extent, overprotective of their kids. But if the child's mother then told her to do that, and especially if she knows that she told her to do that, this, that, and the third, then the father should have a conversation with the child. Like, look, that's not gonna fly. Especially at 17. Matter of fact, it should have been cut out at 13. Should have been cut out at when it was first said, or when the child came over there acting crazy. Because at that point, I'm gonna be getting a belt 10. You're like, oh. And then if that don't work, when you get 15 to 16, if you still want to come to my house, so if you're 15 to 16 and you're coming to my house and intentionally doing things to disrespect or upset my wife, and you're getting to the age where you technically can't be whooped or whatever, then we're going to have other discussions about you not coming at the end of the day. Because if you're disrespecting my wife, you're disrespecting me. I don't care what your mother said. You do whatever you want to say. I'm not telling you go home and do this, that, and the third to your mother. So you should respect me as your father and then respect my wife. And if you can't do that, then at 15, 16 years old, and we're gonna have to have a whole total different discussion of like, we can hang out, we can go here, but you're not coming to my house because every time you come over here, you cause problems. So at the end of the day, 15, 16, you're old enough. I understand you're still a child, but you're still old enough to know right from wrong. You still should have some type of respect or whatever. Because if any of my kids, number one, become disrespectful, I wish any of my kids ever tell her, "Oh, that's not your mother." I'm gonna make them swallow their teeth. Like, oh, you're not my mother. I'm not playing that. I don't care what your mother said. If your mother want to be like that, and you want to listen to your mother, stay the heck away from me. That's how I am personally. So
I agree.
don't mean I don't love them. Just mean I'm not gonna pull up with all that extra. Just can't. I don't like bad kids anyway.
Right, exactly. All right, so now we're gonna get to main topic, marriage goals. Whew. So
we came up with something today. We was in the kitchen talking like we always do. This is 3 years in and we still talk like we just met. So I was saying to her that we have to find, because we have like 53 kids. So I was like, hey man, don't we need to find time to do things and achieve goals, or shouldn't we have like goals that we want in our marriage? And so we started talking about ways of going about trying to achieve those goals, and what we're going to do to go in the right direction of that. So yeah.
So how do you make time? No.
It's a good question. I'm just going to have to do it. Like, I think that, because if we don't make time, then maybe I don't think I'll ever get bored with you. But if you don't make time to do it, then it takes. I think it's gonna. If we don't make time to do it, I think it's gonna take away from, or take an excitement out of our lives. Because what I'm learning, being with you and being married, is anything that we do together is exciting. So to say, hey, you know what? I think, like we talked about earlier, hey, I think I want to try this, and or you want to try this, or whatever, and then we write it down, and then we make steps going towards that, and to achieve that as a couple, as a married couple, as partners. I think that's going to give the relationship extra gratification of success, if that makes any sense. Because we can all make self goals. I can make a goal to be, I don't know, trucking guru, the best whatever in the world, and go for it for myself. But to make a goal with her, we're gonna have to put certain things aside that we may not like or may not want to do or whatever to achieve that goal. And what we say we're gonna do a vision board, which I don't necessarily believe in, but I'm gonna do it because obviously she did one and she ended up with a husband. I don't know how she ended up with a husband, whatever. So we're gonna do that when we get back to North Carolina, do a vision board, and I think it'll be fun. Um, I think it'll be fun. So how do you make time? You're just gonna have to. We're just gonna have to do it. Like we got some grown kids. We just got to find time to do it. One thing that it's gonna do is gonna get you to stop working these jobs. So and what else we did today? Uh, we said that we're gonna do something. I told her to choose one thing that she really, really wants to do. And 9 times out of 10, I'm probably not gonna like it, which I knew what she was gonna choose anyway. And she chose that, and I agreed to do it. One other thing, the one thing that I chose, she wanted me to do some reading books about bettering yourself type of
Self-help
crap.
books. It's
Yeah,
like we're gonna have our own little book club. That's
yeah.
gonna be kind of
So,
cool.
and anybody know me know I don't really like reading. I skim. But then only thing I want her to do is I want her to learn how to fish appropriately, not just go out there. Do.
No, don't do that because I did read up on how to make them knots and stuff.
Yeah,
And I was
okay, all
telling
right.
you about the
So
bobbers and
that's gonna be interesting. We're gonna do that, and we're gonna laugh, and we're gonna joke, and we're gonna it's probably gonna be some times that I don't want to do it, and she don't want to do it, but we set a goal that we're gonna do it together, and so hey, I'm gonna try it. Keep the marriage interesting, although it's never a dull moment with you.
my favorite word is intentional. So I think one of the ways you do that is you just have to be intentional about it. Like we have some things that we say we're gonna do. We kind of slack a little bit though.
Yep.
And I think I think that's bad. So we have to get back to the point where we're intentional, like regardless of what we're doing. Like even our touch bases are important, I think, to me. And I think we have to get to the point, like even if we're tired or we had other things we do that we carve out that time, and that time is our time, and we don't plan anything in place of that time. I remember somebody said something about the things that they did to like for their marriage to keep their marriage going, or the things and they committed to, and one of them was like their date night. And it's like from the way they said, like they stick to that date night come hell or high water, like that's their time period. If they ain't got money, they gonna figure out something to do. If they're having their little time together, and nothing is going to intervene with that, outside of some type of extreme emergency, but they're not going to deviate from that, because once you start deviating from it, then it gets easier and easier to say, okay, we'll do another time, we'll do it later, we do it later. And then you're so far removed from it, it just doesn't, it's not important anymore. And then you forget how important it was to your marriage when you were doing it. So I think the one of the things with the marriage goals is you just have to be intentional when you set them. You can put a completion date on them, and then be intentional about moving towards those dates, or saying on this date, on these days, we're going to work on this goal. We're going to do something as far as trying to see where we're at with this goal. We're going to temperature check where we're at with this goal. We're going to, see what we've been each doing as far as working towards that goal, and be firm about it and keep that regardless of what else is going on. Because a lot of times we'll get distracted by other people's problems. We'll get distracted by what's going on with our kids. We'll get distracted by what's going on with other family. We'll get distracted by something at work. We'll get distracted by, just other stuff. And why would we allow that to distract us when in the long run, our marriage is what is going to sustain us?
Yep. Well, I agree. Now here's a kicker, right? This is going to be interesting. And I ain't say this to you earlier, but this vision board thing is going to be kind of interesting. Because one, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Number two, I wonder if we're going to have the same vision of things that we want to do. So I can see us now sitting down having high how you say arguably debates
Arguably debate.
Yeah, because it's probably gonna be borderline an argument. Because man, ain't nobody doing that. Who the hell want to do that? Well, if you do that, you know how women are.
I don't think we are. Okay, what are some of your visions?
I don't know yet. Well, one of them is what we was talking about for what's the face, the supplemental income thing for here.
Okay.
That's like that's I think that's actually one of the big ones for me. And planning out a route to do that, so we can have a something to, some extra income where we want to go mess off somewhere in Cancun or Africa. I think I want to go to Africa.
But see, so then mine wouldn't be too different from that.
Yeah,
I
but
would say entrepreneurship within our marriage, like us establishing some type of business that we can run together.
so then we agree on
So
that
we
part.
agree
But
on
then
that?
guess what?
What?
Now, what we're not going to agree on,
What?
and I don't know which one yet. What I personally want it to be is what it's going to be.
I don't know if we wouldn't agree on it
Well,
necessarily.
we'll find out. We'll find out in the next couple of weeks.
But so that would be one of my visions. The other ones would be the traveling aspect. Going to making sure we kind of hit different places, like we said, like different, even going to different countries, different states, and all that sort of thing. So traveling would be another one that I would put on the vision board. Longevity.
Longevity is for what?
Oh, our marriage.
Oh no, you ain't getting them about 2 years out of me.
Matter
Matter of fact, we in the second year. Oh, well, this about over with. It was good to know.
You go find my
Yeah, go find your next husband. Yeah, well, hey, hey man, it was good knowing y'all. I didn't know it was up on 2 years. None of this matter now.
Shut up. But yeah, so longevity that would go on the vision board. Increased wealth would go on the vision board. At least for me, I would think we would want that together.
Yeah,
Land.
definitely
That would
land.
go. I would think that would go on the
Definitely
board.
land.
So see, we got the same vision.
Yeah, I guess.
Recreational toys. I think we both like recreational toys.
Yeah, I want to follow.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying.
How they work? Don't you gotta put them in certain orders or something? Or you just gotta.
You just put them all over the board, and then.
Oh hell, we can. That's gonna be easy. But the hardest one gonna be the supplemental income and what to do business wise.
Yeah. But see, we on the same page.
I guess actually we're not. We're on your page. My page is
Whatever.
and health. That's definitely
Health.
gonna be another one.
Yeah, fitness. That would be. Yeah, that's a good one.
I don't. I said this on my personal page the other day. I'll say that the health thing is weird. I waited to 40 plus years old to start worrying about my health, and probably if I would have never met her, probably be dead in the next 2 years because I was going down there bad. I didn't even know, and I'm not a doctor going person. Now I think I'm a hypochondriac because of her. My chest started hurting today, and
That's why I told you need to go to the cardiologist.
I thought I was about to die.
You've been talking about that for forever.
Well, yeah.
So you need to go.
But
anyway, establish some type of goals.
And we're gonna do this too. I don't know how much longer we been. I'm getting hungry. But we'll do something, man. I said this earlier. We're gonna do a game.
Yes.
That we're gonna think of something. I don't know how we're gonna do it exactly. We're gonna think of something and then write it down and see if one sort of that newlywed game type thing.
Which is like, how well do we know each other? We could write it down, but then if we do it, like tell people in advance, they can send us ones too.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
So
30 minutes is enough. Let's go.
That is. I'm hungry.
Yep, me too.
All right, so we'll be on again.
Probably Sunday.
Sunday.
Sunday
because the game come on Saturday, right?
Finish my stuff.
So Sunday or Saturday your game come on?
Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, so yeah, so we'll be back on Sunday. But meanwhile, join our page.
Like, subscribe.
We have a page. We have our group, and then we have our YouTube channel. So join all of them, all three.
And if she has time, she's gonna do her synopsis of this Young Thug thing when it starts. The case actually gets started. it give her a thrill of getting her feet back wet in the courtroom to see if she still think that she got it. She told me she was undefeated in 14 years of being an attorney. So we'll see. We'll see once this Young Thug case comes. But I will say this: she knows her, and I'm not saying it because it's my wife, because she'll tell you in a minute. I'll tell her the truth. But she knows her shit. Excuse my language. It's been things that seen on TV that happens, and they say this, that, and the third, and before the lawyer said it, the attorney said, she spits out what the attorney gonna say before the attorney say it, and it's so that's gonna be very interesting. I love to hear her take on something. Finally, other than arguing with me and being wrong all the time.
I think that's
because I think I'm a better lawyer than her.
You ain't gotta argue.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make you go to law school. That's why I'm put on our
oh, hell no. I don't read that much. You got study. You have me studying some case laws, but it'd be people get out of jail free.
Lord Jesus, I can see you in the courtroom now. Oh, but then that'd be a good. See, that would be a good business.
No, I probably actually have people going to jail.
Brown and Brown law firm. That'd be dope.
You going to jail?
Be like, which Brown you want?
You going to jail messing with me?
He's good at this. I'm good at
I'll
that.
be a defense attorney and say that nigga guilty. Send him to jail. I don't. You know what? I don't even believe him now. Send him to jail, Your Honor. I wouldn't be a good attorney. No.
All right. Well, have a good evening.
Kiss. Love you. Now come feed me.
All right. We're hungry, apparently. Bye-bye.
I'm so tired.